Noah and Caleb were brothers who lived by their wits and their cutting torches, specializing in buying hard-to-handle industrial scrap. Their latest score was a behemoth, a massive antique steel safe, retrieved from the murky depths of the local harbor by a dredging company and subsequently sold for its scrap value. The safe was legendary. It was pulled from the exact area where in 1978 a notorious bank robbery getaway car was discovered, ditched in the water, and stripped of cash. Everyone believed the safe was empty, a relic of a failed attempt to hide the loot, but the brothers calculated the steel alone made the purchase worthwhile. The safe was colossal, designed to withstand immense force. It was waterlogged, heavy with decades of sediment, and encased in a thick, almost impenetrable layer of rust and calcified marine growth. They spent nearly 2 weeks cleaning the exterior just to find the hinges and the combination dial. They knew they couldn't risk explosives due to the unknown internal contents and the sheer risk of destruction. Their only option was a surgical breach. They used high-powered industrial diamond saws, targeting the seam where the thick outer door met the frame. The work was slow, grueling, and dangerous, producing showers of white-hot sparks and steam. Finally, with the massive cutting complete, they used a specialized hydraulic ram to apply several tons of pressure to the door. With a deafening, echoing crack, the heavy steel seal broke. The contents were exposed. The interior vault was lined with thick, water-resistant canvas, which had protected the contents from the worst of the harbor environment. They found not cash, which would have long disintegrated, but 2 primary caches. The first was a series of small, lead-lined boxes, individually sealed with wax. The second was a bundle of brittle, oil-soaked documents tied with a nylon cord. The surprise was not the money, it was the meticulously organized nature of the hidden contents. They carefully pried open the first lead box. Inside, resting on a bed of dry padding, were stacks of shimmering, uncut stones. Not jewels, but industrial-grade, rough-cut diamonds perfectly protected from the water and moisture. The diamonds were dense, numerous, and immediately recognized as being worth a massive fortune. The safe was not a decoy, it was the ultimate hiding place. Hey guys, quick break because we need your help to validate this unbelievable stolen fortune. We are so close to hitting 5,000 subscribers, we need to hit that goal ASAP. If you haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe. It makes a massive difference. Also, drop a comment below and let us know where in the world you're watching this video from. We love seeing how far our adventures travel. Now, let's get back to the good stuff. The documents provided the horrifying context. The bundle of papers contained a full inventory of the stolen diamonds and a handwritten journal from the original bank robber detailing his final days before the ditching of the getaway car. The journal confirmed the diamonds were the true loot from the 1978 bank heist, which was never recovered. The robber had intended to retrieve the safe later, but it had sunk too deep, too quickly. The final journal entry, however, was a chilling confession about the fatal shooting of a security guard during the heist, providing key details that had never been revealed publicly. They had not found a fortune, they had found the evidence of a violent, decades-old capital crime.
The realization that the safe contained not only the stolen fortune, but also the confession to a capital crime completely changed the brothers' objective. They immediately contacted the local police department's cold case unit, requesting an urgent, discreet meeting. They did not reveal the location of the safe, only the precise details of the unrecovered loot and the new, specific information regarding the fatal shooting of the security guard. Details only the perpetrator would know. The police were instantly engaged. The 1978 robbery was a highly publicized cold case, and the unrecovered loot had always been a mystery. The cold case detective, initially cautious, grew intently focused when the brothers provided the specific denomination and count of the uncut industrial diamonds, matching the bank's original confidential audit records. They had the proof. The brothers presented the sealed journal and the diamond inventory ledger, securing a strict legal agreement that their discovery was made honestly under salvage law and that they would be protected as key witnesses. The police response was immediately overwhelming. The safe, still in the brothers' possession, was designated as the primary crime scene. Forensic teams meticulously documented the safe's contents, confirming the staggering value of the diamonds, which were a specific industrial grade known to be highly liquid and untraceable. The total count of the rough-cut diamonds was immediately appraised at a conservative $15 million USD in current market value, confirming the massive scale of the stolen fortune. The true breakthrough came from the journal. The confession, detailing the shooting of the guard, provided minute, specific details about the layout of the bank's lobby and the position of the guard, details that had been redacted from all public police reports. The journal not only solved the murder, but placed the original robber, Arthur Vance, at the heart of the crime, confirming he was the shooter. The cold case was instantly closed. The bank robber had vanished, but his final testimony had been locked in the harbor for 40 years, waiting for the right moment to surface. However, the discovery had a massive, immediate consequence for the brothers. Because the safe's contents were confirmed to be stolen property directly tied to a capital murder, the diamonds were legally required to be returned to the bank's insurer. The police publicly announced that the brothers were key witnesses who had recovered stolen assets, which meant the scrap they bought was not legally theirs. The narrative shifted instantly from lucky salvage to a stolen asset recovery. The brothers were now in a high-stakes legal battle, facing the potential for zero financial reward despite the massive crime they had solved. The legal team had to fight hard for a substantial finder's fee, arguing the intelligence value of the journal far outweighed the scrap value of the safe itself.
The legal battle that ensued was complex and high-profile, centered on the principle of salvage law versus asset forfeiture. The bank's insurer, having paid out the claim in 1978, asserted total ownership of the diamonds. However, the brothers' legal team argued that the journal, which solved a capital crime and provided the critical intelligence necessary to close the cold case, represented a value that superseded the simple monetary worth of the recovered diamonds. The intelligence provided, they argued, saved the police and the state immeasurable time and resources. The key evidence was the journal itself. The confession, detailing the precise sequence of events during the robbery and the immediate aftermath, was used to formally close the case on the murdered security guard, bringing decades of closure to the victim's family. Furthermore, the details within the journal allowed the police to confirm that the robber, Arthur Vance, had successfully assumed a new identity and lived out his life quietly, avoiding capture until his natural death years later, a fact that prevented further waste of resources on a manhunt. The intense media coverage surrounding the recovered diamonds and the solved murder put immense pressure on the insurer and the city. Ultimately, the two parties, the insurer and the brothers, entered mediation, recognizing the twins' crucial role. The agreement reached was highly favorable to Noah and Caleb. The insurer, after recovering the full $15 million worth of industrial diamonds, agreed to pay the brothers a massive, negotiated reward payment for the recovery of the stolen assets and the provision of intelligence that closed the cold case. The final monetary settlement awarded to Noah and Caleb for their integrity and diligence totaled an astonishing $3.5 million USD. The money was certified as clean, legal compensation, honoring their successful salvage operation and critical assistance to law enforcement. The brothers were widely hailed as heroes, not just for the money they found, but for the moral fortitude to turn over the fortune and solve the 40-year-old murder. They used their significant windfall to elevate their small salvage operation into a nationally recognized firm specializing in the ethical recovery of historical and criminal assets. They invested in new sonar technology and deep-sea diving gear, ensuring their future projects would be conducted with the same professionalism. They donated the original safe and the journal to the city's police museum, ensuring the full, complex story of the 1978 bank heist would finally be told, complete with the final, chilling confession. The scrap safe they bought for steel had held the truth to a capital crime, and that truth ultimately bought them a fortune. Thanks for watching our incredible journey.